I alluded to it last week. We've got a theme that's been forming in our games of the week. It's another rematch. This week we've got number 2 in the state, Toledo Christian, hosting number 4, Emmanuel. They get a second game of the week in a row. This is, again, a rematch. January 19th, EC falls to Toledo Christian. Their only TAAC loss of the season for Emmanuel. How does the rematch stack up? How are things going to be different, or how are they going to be the same, Dion?
All right, no, we didn't pissed off J.Ron Butler. All right,
Yep.
he's going to watch this. He's going to win. I think Toledo Christian, I've been saying this, if you guys been watching Friday, they've been the hottest team for the last 3-4 weeks, okay?
Absolutely.
To me, I think that they're unstoppable at this point, because here's the thing, and it's not taking away anything from Emmanuel. Obviously, Brown, outstanding player. Miles, but they have to do too much. I mean, they got to score almost 60 points a game. So we talk about Butler. We talked about Gaston. But what about Carter Kester?
Yeah.
The lone junior who played in the big game a couple years ago and knocked off Emmanuel when they were loaded, okay? And then you got Xander Hessen. Here's a guy, 6'6". We don't talk about him much, but he's shooting almost 50% from the three.
Right.
Like, you're not going to find 4 guys off in one night. Okay, and what if Nate Miles gets in foul trouble? Because we've seen it happen before.
Right.
I think Maumee Valley did a good job of getting in foul trouble. So if you get one of those 2 guys, if they're not on, it could be a long night for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a tough challenge, and then also you got to factor in coaching, right? So you look at coaching, and you take nothing away from Coach Said. He's a great young coach. But when you get out there and you go with the veterans, it's tough. And just to make a comparison to football, because that's what I do. You look at like Coach Dempsey, a guy that's been coaching for as long as he's been coaching, and then you take a new coach, who's only been coaching for a few years. He's got a lot of tricks in the bag. He's been through a lot of the situations, and that's the same thing that you're seeing at Toledo Christian.
Right.
This is a coach that's played in these big games.
Right. We've been there, done that.
Been there, been a part of it. And as a young coach, you got to take those lumps and bumps so you can learn how to get over those next humps. I've been through it, when I was coaching, so the big thing here is, can we see Nate Miles drop 50? Because that's what he's going to have to do. Can you see Brown step up and drop 30?
Another 30 himself.
That's what they're going to have to do. And then they're going to need their supporting cast to really step up in the bench as well. And it's too much to overcome. But at the same time, it's not that it can't be done. It's just unlikely.
I think if you are Emmanuel, honestly, you want to keep the score. If you can keep the score 50 or lower, even though that's not who they are, I think you have a better chance, because you have to give your guys some rest too. Because we saw Toledo Christian, they're going to get up and down in transition. Okay, they're going to press you a lot. They try to wear you down, and your complementary players have to step up huge. I agree with you. We know what you're going to get out of Nate. We're going to get out of Brown, but can the complementary guys, can they step up when it's their time?
I think the big thing for this matchup is Nate Miles doesn't get a lot of guys in the TAAC that are 6'6" and willing to go with him. Xander Hessen is that. Xander Hessen is not going to shy away from contact if you want to come down to the paint. He's also not scared to step out and guard you or hit a 3 for himself. You talked about the 3-point percentage he shoots, and you said Toledo Christian, 4 guys averaging over 11 points. Kalon Butler, 18. Kester, 16. Gaston, 14. And you got Xander Hessen, almost 12 points a game. The depth is what feels like the major difference in here, and we know we're going to get 50, potentially 60 out of Jalen Brown and Nate Miles, but where else? Can somebody else tack in 12, 14 points? Because that's going to be the difference. It was a 5-point game last time, and those, 6, 8 points from your bench guys is really what differentiates the win or loss, especially in a game that is going to decide who wins the TAAC title. This is the TAAC title game.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if this is senior night there, if this is their last home game, because if it is, it's just much more added on to it, because you got to go over to Toledo Christian.
Oh, yeah,
they already beat you at home. Now you got to go on the road and do it. So this is a huge game. So I would say the underdogs is Emmanuel, and if Nate Miles can come out and do something crazy, that'd be the only way I can see them winning. But it is going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot for them to overcome it. But I do see this being a 6-point game.
Yeah, I can't see the spread being much. Now we're giving bulletin board material. We said we already gave it to Kalon. Now we're giving it to EC. So we're going to pump everybody up.
Make sure game.
Exactly. We're going to get everybody fired up so we got the best game possible Friday night. You can check this one out, 7:15 p.m. Go to the BCSN app. Check it out. Obviously, we'll be checking in plenty all night on Game Day Nation